Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so good evening. Can you hear me? So if you can hear me, kindly drop one, type one in the chat box if you can hear me. Kindly type one in the chat box. We are not going to keep long, just an hour, then you'll be done with it. Kindly type one if you can hear me well. If my audio is well, okay. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So good evening to you all. So where are you listening from? So you kindly type in where you are tuning in from. Where are you listening from? So you type in where you are listening from in the chat box. Kindly type where you are listening from in the chat box. Kindly type where you are listening from in the chat box. Kindly type in where you are listening from in the chat box so that you will keep on going. We are not going to keep long because tomorrow some people will be going to work. So you are not going to keep long. Keep cool. So most of you are from Ghana, right? All right. All right. All right. I like the energy. I like the energy. I like the energy. All right. So all of you are from Ghana. From Ghana. From Ghana. All right. All right. I like the energy. So type in South Africa. You've gotten South Africa. All right. All right. Where are you listening from? Let me know where you are listening from. So I'm an NDC. You are an NDC. All right. I never knew NDC is a country or it's a place that people are living. All right. So all right. So the reason why I want to be introducing these things. I want to be introducing the weekly outlook. Like you'll be looking at what you are going to expect within the week because most of you are workers and you'll be going to the workplace during the weekday, so you don't even get time to attend to the morning sessions. So I decided to be doing the Sunday session. I decided to do the weekend session so that you people to mostly feel how I trade live and other stuff. So that's why I brought this thing. I brought in the weekly outlook. So we are going to look at the charts. You are going to look at what you are going to be expecting within the week. Okay. And when I'm done analyzing, you guys will drop your questions on anything, any difficulty, any challenge that you are facing or any difficulty that you are facing in the forex market. So you drop it in the chat. So the reason why I've been doing this thing is what I'm having a lot of experience. I've traded the forex market like 5 years and I have a lot of experience. So I think it's important for me to share it with people that they've been here or they've been seeing or hearing people making a lot of money in the forex market. Through you guys have been seeing it on the internet, people are making a lot of money, and it is true you can make a lot of money, but you have to first of all seek, or you have to first of all get the knowledge before you can make a lot of money. You can make money from the forex market. One thing about the market is at the beginning stage it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult because it's a new field that you are entering. You get it? It's a new field that you are entering, and a lot of things are going to be very difficult, especially how to read the chart. It's going to be very difficult. But with time, it gets to be very easy. So, me, for instance, the reason why I've come out to teach people how to trade the market is because of now very easy. Like, I'm not saying the market is very simple, but when you trade it for long, it's become very simple and easy. You get it? It's become very simple and easy. So I've been doing live analysis, or I've been doing live streaming, I think for a month now, and people have been seeing how I've been predicting, or I've been speculating the markets like back to back. Most of the analysis have been going in our favor, and like we've not been losing a lot in the market. I don't remember the last time I even sent a projection or I even gave a signal and it failed. most of our analysis have been what's going in our favor. So that's the importance of when you get a skill set, when you get the knowledge, things become very easy and simple. You get it. So I wanted to. I know most people are struggling to even raise money to make, as in purchase a mentorship, or even to get a personal mentor, someone who is going to teach you how to trade the forex market. So that's why I decided to help people. You get it. I decided to help people to what, to be able to trade the forex market, because if you get a principle, if you get the fundamentals, this thing is not something that is it is not difficult at all. It's very simple. But the most important thing that is demanded from you is what, you being patient. Okay, so you have to get the fundamentals, and from getting the fundamentals, things become very simple. It's become very easy. The forex market is not difficult. So those who have been joining me in the morning session have been seeing how I've been doing it. It's very simple. You get it. But you have to first of all get the fundamentals. When you get the fundamentals, things become very simple. So in today's webinar, what I'm going to do is what, I would like to, or I'll be analyzing the charts, what usually I look for, so that you can maybe picking one or two things that one or two things that what I used, or one or two tools that the tools that I've been using to what, to predict the market, so that you can also what, implement it in your trading, what, your trade, any strategy that you are using, you can implement it in whatever you have been doing. But one thing is what, in the forex market, uh, we see things differently. Many people do things differently. That's what makes it very difficult, because you don't have a set formula or a set format that you are going to follow. Everyone is doing things differently. That makes it very difficult, especially when you go on YouTube. Many people are doing things differently, but for you to know what works and what doesn't work, that's the problem. So you have to first of all. So I know most of you I know most people following me are what, beginners. So one advice I'm going to give to you is what, for you to start out in this game, trying to learn many things is not going to work in this journey. Okay, in this market, or in this industry, if you learn, especially when it comes to the technical, but with the theoretical aspect, you can be learning a lot about the financial back. But when it comes to the analysis, you have to stick to what, one particular thing and be a master in it. But when it comes to the theoretical aspect, as in reading how the macroeconomics works, the interest rate, the GDP, and those things, you can, if you want to be an economist, you can be learning a lot in those fields. But when it comes to the technical aspects, when it comes to the technical aspect, if you learn a lot of things, you are going to get confused. Especially having many tools like support and resistances, the trend line. We having many people. We having many strategies that people are using. But if you try to learn everything, I bet you are going to take, it's going to take you like 10 years, and you are still not going to make money. And I know a lot of few people are what, I know a lot of few people are what, a testimony to those things. You've learned a lot of things, and yes, still you are not making money in the market. So that's how it works. So you have to get it. After getting the fundamentals, the basic things, just stick to those things, and you'll be making money in the market. You get it? And you'll be making money in the market, because one thing is what, no matter the strategy that you are using, within a week or within a month, there's no way what, you are not going to get a setup. So you have to what, stay patient. But one thing that most people are, the most difficult thing that most people are facing is what, they are not patient to wait for things to align. They are not patient to stick to one thing for long. That's why even most people are not succeeding in life, because they don't stick to things for long. They do this thing for a month, they will shift and what, go and do another thing. You can't be a master with that attitude. You get it? You can't be a master in that attitude. You need to be patient. You need to stick to one thing for, even if it is going to take you 5 years, you have to stick to that. Okay. So one thing that you have to tell yourself is, since someone has been able to do it, since someone is succeeding in that, you can also what, you can also succeed in that. If I'm making sense, type two in whatever in the chat box. If I'm making sense, kindly type two in the chat box. Let me know whether I'm making sense. Type two in the chat box. Let me know whether you are here. If you can hear me well, type two in the chat box. Let me know whether I'm making sense. Type in two in the chat box. Let me know whether I'm making sense. Okay. NDC man is saying I'm making sense. So that's it. So you have to stick to You have to, okay, I'm making sense. So you have to stick to one thing for long, okay, and learn from an experienced person. So I like giving advice to people. I like to share my experience with people, because this game has really frustrated me for long. You get it? It has really frustrated me. When I completed school, I wanted to do this thing. I didn't want to work for anyone. I wanted to do this thing, and it was not working. You get it? It was not working for me. It was not working for me. So I have a lot of experience in this game. Okay, so you need to stick to one thing for long. Stick to one thing for long. Make sure you are following someone who is making, who has been able to make it in the industry. Learn from that person and start refining the strategy. Start refining the strategy of the person. And I bet you, within a short period of time, you are going to start seeing consistency in what the game. You get it? It's very simple. So I don't want to waste my time in whatever, because most people will be asking questions. Most beginners have questions that they will be asking. So I have some two pairs that when we come to the lending session, we use to analyze. So first of all, I'm going to be breaking down. I'm going to what? I'm going to be telling you the things that I usually look for before I will even press on buy or sell. So I have to, first of all, the things that I look for is what? I have to check the fundamentals. So you have to check the fundamental, the economic events. You have intra economic. Since you are day traders, mostly we check the what, the intraday fundamentals of the what, the day or for the week before you do our analysis. So if you are here and you are trying to do a back testing, and one thing to you is what, you have to do a back testing. So with as time goes on, you'll be talking about the things that you need to do for you to be able to what, to be confident in your strategy. So you have something called backtesting. Backtesting is what, looking at the previous data to know whether what your system or the strategy or the things that you have written it down to be looking for in the market in order for you to what, press on buy or sell, has been happening. That's what you call what, backtesting. So you look at the past data to what, to be able to what, to be checking whether what, those things that you are look for has been happening. How many times does it happen? At what time does it happen? So when you are doing back testing, you have to first of all check the fundamentals. So when you are about to even trade the market too, you have to check the fundamentals of the day. So the fundamentals are what? The macroeconomic events. So we have some high impact economic events, we have low impact economic events, and medium impact economic events. But the most important things, or the things that the events that we take into consideration or we consider, is the high impact economic event. So the high impact economic event, we have what, the CPI. So CPI is the same as what, the inflation data. So those who did macroeconomics in school, I know most of you what understand the what inflation means, or the impact of inflation in what, in an economy. So you check the inflation or the CPI data, you check the retail sales, we check the FOMC. Okay, so the FOMC is simply what, the central bank of what, American, their interest rate. Okay, so the Fed, in case maybe they want to release an interest rate, you'll be checking those things. So these are the what, the microeconomic events, the macroeconomic events. So the website that you are going to use to check those things are at where, the forexfactory.com. You're having many websites. Okay, you're having many websites that you have to what, you can use to check it. But the ones that I use is forexfactory.com. So anything that I'm going to say, it will be, even though the stream will be recorded, you can go back and re-watch it. But you have to take notes. If you are not taking notes, you are doing yourself a harm. So kindly take note of anything that I'm going to say. So you check the economic events. So I said the website we use to check the economic events is what? The forexfactory.com. You're having many websites, but the simplest one that I use is forexfactory.com. So you don't have to stress yourself on what, digging deep, checking many things. How I trade or how I even look at the market is very simple. And if you study me keenly for even a month or two, if you are already having an experience, there's no way you are not going to accept my you are not going to what, understand my concept. So with Forex Factory, you check the economic event. So let's look at the Forex Factory and check the economic event for the week. What is going to happen? So tomorrow is going to be 10th. Okay, tomorrow is going to be 10th, and so you have to check. So when you see red folder, that means what, the market is going to be volatile. So when you talk about volatility, that means what, that you are going to experience a lot of buying and selling pressure in the market. So the market is going to be volatile. That means what, you are going to see rapid movements in prices. Okay, so the candles that you are seeing over here is the same thing as price. Okay, but this is just a what, a visual representation of what happened, what has happening in the market, or what is happening in the market. The candles are the same as what, price, but we are having different types of what, we are having different types of charts. We have the candle charts, we have the bar charts, and we have what, line charts. By the most used one, the ones that we mostly use in the market to analyze the forex market is what, the candlestick chart, or the candlestick chart. So this candles, these things that you are seeing on my screen is the same thing as price. Okay, so we call it either volume or price. They are prices. Okay, they are prices. People are what, the prices that people are buying and selling what, the currency pair. So we are trading the what, the exchange rate. And you know, exchange rate is what, the comparing prices of two currencies, comparing the price value of what, two currencies. So this is the exchange price, the prices of what, this currency pair that we are trading. You get it? This is the price of this currency pair that you are trading. So let's move to the what, the fundamental. So the fundamentals are what, the economic events, what is it's about to happen within the week. So when you see red folder, anytime you see red folder, one thing that I will urge you is what, you don't have to what, participate in the market 30 minutes before, an hour before. Try and avoid that. So if you are already in a trade, when you see the red folder, if you're already in a trade, what you can do is what, you have something called break even. Break even means what, bringing your price to what, an entry level. Okay, you bring your price to an entry level, or maybe a profit margin which is very small. Okay, a profit level which is very small. So you take into consideration the red folder. 1 hour, as I said, 1 hour to 30 minute time, you don't have to what, take a trade. When it happens like that, you don't have to take a trade. So this stream is purposely for those who have not been getting time for what, for them to attend the morning session. So I designed, or I created this stream for you people, for you to know most of the times what you have to be looking for. So on Monday we don't have any red folder. So when you see, when you come to when you check the economic calendar and you see there's no red folder, that means what, you can trade with no what, no, like, looking back to see maybe whether there was high impact news or there was no high impact. So you can trade freely. Okay, you can trade freely. So anytime you see yellow and orange, you can trade freely. So on Monday we don't have any red folder. You get it? When you check the forest factory, we don't have red folder. So when you move to Tuesday, so the Tuesday too, we have what, you have a red folder over here. So we have claimant count change. So you take into consideration, or you factor this thing, when an hour or 30 minutes time for this event to be released, or for this data to be released, you are not going to enter the market. So as I said, if you are already in a trade, what you do is what, you put your stop loss to break even, and you allow the market to what, play out. This is what you'll be doing. If 30 minutes to an hour, you put your stop loss to break even, and what, you allow the market to move. So on Tuesday we have red folder. Okay, so we have two red folders. So you factor them into consideration about what I've told you, the things that you'll be looking for, the things that you'll be doing when it happens like that. So on Wednesday to 6 a.m. So this is the time where you'll be seeing the time, 6 a.m. We have what, this red folder. So this red folder means what, the market is going to, you are going to see rapid movement in what, prices. Okay, or you are going to see let me use, so since most of you are beginners, let me say rapid movement in what, the candle. Okay, you are going to see, like, as in big candles in the market. When you see red folders, that means what, you are going to see big candles. So you factor those things into consideration. We have on Wednesday we have many red folders. So CPI, as I said, is what, it's an inflation data. Okay, so inflation simply means what, the persistent increase in what, the general price of goods and service. So if goods and service are what, rapidly or consistently what, increasing in the economy, what you are going to see is what, the central bank, you are going to see what, if the interest rates will also what, rise, because they have to increase interest rates for inflation to also what, come down. You get it? So CPI simply means what, inflation. So you factor all these things into consideration. And on Thursday too, we have what, another high impact news. You have main refinancing rate and those things. So you factor all the red folders into consideration. So 30 minutes or an hour before the news, you avoid those times. You don't enter a trade unless maybe you are having what, an account that is designed solely to trade the news. Okay, I'm not saying you can't trade news and be profitable. You can be trading news and be profitable. But one advice I'm going to give you to you is what, if you are trading for an investor, or if you are trading a proprietary firm account, don't involve yourself in these things. Okay, don't involve, unless maybe your personal account, which is designed for to be trading the news, then you'll be trading it. But when it comes to your an investor's account, or maybe a proprietary firm account, one thing I will tell you is what, avoid those things. Even though what do you call it, fundamentals follow what, technicals. Whatever fundamental will be saying, some most at times it aligns with the technical. But one thing is what, we set stop loss. Okay, so stop loss is simply what, a command that we give to what, our forex brokers, for them to what, take us out in case maybe price get to a certain level. Okay, in case maybe price get to a certain price level. So even though you set your stop loss, but when you set your stop loss, because of the rapid movement in prices, your stop loss can be hit. So that's why I'm admonishing or advising you people not to be what, not to be trading during news hours, unless maybe you have an account which is what, solely or purposely what, you deposited money in the account solely for trading the news, or what, trading the fundamental. If that is the case, then you can be trading it, because you are ready, or what, you are willing for anything, any outcome. You are willing for anything that it's about to happen. You get it? Because news is very risky. You can blow your account, or you can lose everything within a second. You get it? You can lose everything within a second. So you factor them into consider. When you see the red folders, you have to be very cautious about it. So with time, I will talk about how you'll be able to interpret those news events and other stuff. So let's move to the what? Let's move to the weekly time frame. Let's move to what, the pair that mostly we trade. So when the most of the pairs that I trade is what, the GBP, the pound, dollar, and what, the I trade currencies. You get it? I don't trade the indices, or maybe I don't trade the synthetics and those things. I trade currencies. I don't trade commodity like, or the metal like gold and those stuff. I trade currencies. So the currency, and I have a specific currencies that I trade. So for now, what the currencies that I've specified to trade is what, the pound dollar and what, the euro dollar. That's what I usually trade. And mostly since gold USD is one of what, the currency, or the instrument that most people trade. With that one too, I usually analyze it for people, because it is one of what, the most traded what, asset class, or assets that most people trade. So you will be analyzing those things too. So it's not going to, you are not going to keep long, because people will be asking me questions. People have some questions that they want to share, or they want to ask. So I will use some minutes or some time to what, be answering those questions. So if you have any question, in case maybe you have any question, you can what, you can write down your questions. When I'm done with the analysis, I want you to see whatever, mostly what, the things that I look for before I will analyze, before I will even place a trade, as in buy or sell. So if you have any question, you kindly what, write it down. When you are done, then what, you ask your questions. So if you are enjoying the stream, you kindly what, you kindly send in fire emoji in the chat box. Any emoji of your choice, you send it in the chat box, so that I will know whether I'm making sense. If I'm making sense, kindly type in any emoji of your choice, then you type it in the chat box. Let me know whether I'm making sense. Are you enjoying the stream? Okay. All right. So first of all, before I will do my analysis, the things that I usually factor into consideration, or I usually look, or I usually take it in consideration before I will analyze the market is what, I first of all do top-down analysis. So you have something called top-down analysis. So top-down analysis simply means what? Analyze. So we have time frames. Okay. So we have time frames. So time frames are what? The times that prices what? The times that's what. So you are doing well. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, I'm seeing your fire emojis. So when you talk about time frames, so time frames are usually what, the times that what, the candles are formed. So we are having different time frames in the what, in the market. Okay, we are having different time frames that the tools that have been provided for us to what, trade the forex market. We're having different times that you can focus on, you can analyze the market on. So we have the monthly time. You can customize any time frame of your choice, but I have standardized time frames that I usually focus on. You get it? I have standardized time frame that I usually focus on. So most of the standardized time frames that I focus on is what, the monthly time frame, most of the standardized time frames that I focus on. So the reason why I'm going back to the basis is what most of you guys are what beginners, and you have to know whatever the things that I usually do before. So we have the monthly time frame. These are the standardized time frames that I focus on. We have the weekly time frames, and we have what the daily time frames, and we have the H4 time frames. We have the H1 time frame. You get it? And what you have the M30 time frame. So I'm going to make it very simple and quick, since what some people will be going to work tomorrow. So these are the standard time frames that I usually focus on to do my analysis. You get it? So we have something called top-down analysis. So when you talk about top-down analysis, you have to make sure what the time frame that you are analyzing are all aligned with what each other. Okay. So you call something, they have to be in sync with each other. They have to be what? They have to align with each other. Okay. So the best way to make money in the market is what? When all these time frames are in the same direction. So you have to take note of this thing. It took me really a long time for me to realize this thing. Okay, these things most people don't. Most YouTube videos, you are not going to see these things in the things that I'm telling you. You get it? You are not going to be hearing this thing. So the perfect way or the best position to put yourself in the market to make a lot of money is when all these time frames, okay, or when all these time frames are in the same direction. I bet you the possibility or the chances of you going to lose money, or you going to be your stop loss going to be stop you get going to get stopped out in the market is very low. The chances is very low. You get it? So you have something, the top down analysis, you have to make sure all these time frames are what align if they are in the same direction. So the market moves in what we have something called trends. Okay, so we have an uptrend. So if you went through the beginners course, I talked about this thing. So we have an uptrend, or what uptrend is simply or is the same as what a bullish trend. You get it? So if the market is in an uptrend, is the same as what a bullish trend. You get it? So if all these time frames are in an uptrend, you have to what look for a buy. Okay, uptrend is the same as a bullish trend, or is the same as what a buying market. Let me put it this way: a buying market. Okay, so if all the time frames are in the same direction, you have to what look for what buy. So when early morning or any time that you come to the market, the first thing you have to be doing is what you have to look for the directional bias. You have something called directional bias. So directional bias is like what? It's like your Google map. Okay, so if you are going to an unknown place, or if you are going to a place that you are not familiar with, or you don't know there, what you are going to do is what you are going to pull out your map to what to get a direction to the place. Without the map, you are going to find it difficult, or you will be asking around for people to give you direction to the place. So assuming maybe you don't have Google map, there's no one at the place, you are going to really struggle for you to get the to what to get to your destination. So it's the same thing in the forex market. Anytime that you come to the market, one thing you have to do is what you have to ask yourself: where is the market heading to? Where are majority of people what heading to, or like looking at the market? You get it? Because we are retail traders. What retail traders does is what we don't have an absolute control of the market, because for you, for instance, we don't even trade the real market. We trade the exchange rate that for the numbers that the brokers what display on their screen. That's what you trade. We don't have much control in the market. So the big players have most control in that. So the big players are the banks, the big institutions. Okay, the banks, the big institutions, the government. They are the people that what have control in the market, because we are just what trading with the brokers. Most brokers too are big book brokers. They don't even what send your orders to the market. So we are just trading the forex market. So even most of the time, your orders don't even go to the market. So what you have to do is what trade with the big players. So anytime that you come to the market, follow where the big players are what uh, placing their positions, or what putting their orders. You get it? That's where you are going to get a lot of chances for you to make money in the market. These things that I'm telling you, it's only few people that they are going to tell you this thing. You are not going to be hearing it in most YouTube videos. So kindly pay attention to whatever I'm saying. So you have to make sure what you are following the big players, the banks, the big institutions, the hedge funds, and those people where they are heading to. So when you come to the market, if the monthly time frame is in what if the monthly time frame is an uptrend, okay, so what I'm doing, the arrow up means what the market is in an uptrend. When you see the weekly time frame uptrend, When you see the daily time frame uptrend, when you see the what H4 time frame uptrend, H1 time frame, these time frames are all what in bullish direction. What you have to what you have to do is what you have to what look for a buy, never what look for a sell. If you look for a sell, the chances or the what the chances of you getting stopped out. So that's why most people get stopped out in the market. I've been there before. Those times when I enter the market, because I didn't know these things, when I enter the market I usually get stopped out. I will use to what, and you see within some few minutes or a short period of time you see the market starting to move in your favor. You get it? So because those times I was not having knowledge, or I was lacking these things that I'm talking about. I used to get stopped out a lot, and later you see the market moving in your favor again. So that's why I'm saying, when you come to the market, first thing you have to do is what, check whether the direction of the market. It's very important. Okay, so you have to know how to read the chart. So reading the chart is what, learning how to read the market moves in waves. You get it? It moves in waves. So it moves higher, 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 low, higher, higher, low. That's how the market moves. So you have to know how to read these things. If you know how to read it, it's become very simple. Okay, it's become very simple. For me, for instance, when I come to the market, I don't stress like as it was at the beginning that I used to stress up. But now I don't even usually stress. What I'm looking for is what, to get a winning trade, and I can predict exactly when I'm going to get a winning trade. You get it? I can predict exactly when I'm going to get a winning trade because of what, my experience and how to read the market. Okay, so you have to learn how to read the market. The market is a language. You get it? It's a language. So you have to learn how to read the market very well. If you don't know how to read the market, you are going to interpret the market in a different what, meaning. You get it? You are going to interpret it in a different meaning. So after identifying or after knowing where the direction of the market is moving, the monthly, the weekly, they are all in the same direction. When I come, first thing is what, I'm going to buy. I'm not going to look for a sell, because the sell that you are going to be seeing, they are all what, the sell that you are going to be seeing is what, it's just a short term. We call it what, retracement. It is against the main direction of the market. You feel me? It's against the main direction of the market. So you have to first of all what, make sure you are moving with the direction of the market. That's when you are going to get a lot of moves. You are going to get like big pips. You are going to get like big moves like 50 pips. You are going to get like 180 pips. So when all these time frames aligns, I bet you the chances of you getting big pips, like if you are not a scalper and you've been yearning for what, big pips, you are going to be what, getting big pips in the market if you are what, trading with what, the majority of the time frame being in the same direction. Okay, so usually people say you have to trade with a trend, you have to trade with a trend, but they don't tell you the time frame that you have to even focus on to what, trading the trend. Because one thing is what, so there are a lot to talk about. I can't talk about all in the stream. So one thing is what, if you see someone, as I've told you, have to trade with a trend. If you see someone trading at what, if you see someone trading at H4 time frame and the person is trading with a trend, it can be what, a correction or a retracement at the daily time frame or at the weekly time frame. You get it? So trading with a trend is what, a subjective, based on the time frame the person is trading. You get it? Because M30 time frame, it can be a trend at the M30 time frame, but when you move to the H1 time frame, it can be what, a correction. You get it? So it depends on the experience level of a person, and it depends on what, the time frame that the person is focusing on. So time frame too is also important. You have to know the time frame that you are trading. It's also very, very important. You have to factor the time frame into consideration. So we've talked about what, the time frame. You have talked about what, the top down analysis. So you have to, after identifying the direction of the market, I have to what, draw my various reactional level. So reactional level is simply what, the the zones or the levels that the market are going to react on. Okay, the levels that the market is going to react on, the support and resistances level, because the market is always what, going to react. So support and resistance level are what, equilibrium points. Okay, there are points where buyers and sellers meet. So where buyers and sellers meet is what, an equilibrium point. So in basic economics, you learned about this things, equilibrium point. So anytime that price will get to those level, it's going to take some time either to break out or what, to retest at those level. So price is always going to what, react or what, it's either going to react. So the reaction can either what, a breakout or a retest at those level. So anytime price is going to what, so I even said we are going to do analysis, and I've ended up teaching. So anytime price will get to this level, anytime that price will get to this level, it's either going, so the reaction I'm talking about is what, it's either going to what, retrace or what, breakout. Okay, so anytime price get to this level, you have to always pay attention to them. Okay, so you don't have to be what, buying at this level. You have to always make sure price have broken through before you make what, a decision. You get it? So you have to always make sure price has broken through before you make a decision. So I take into consideration the support and resistances too. Okay, so I've talking about the trend. You have to make sure you are trading with what, the majority of the time frames to be in your direction. I've talked about the support and resistance level. So I'm not sure you'll be able to even go through all the market because I said 1 hour and I've even spent more than that. So you have to, first of all, let me analyze this pair, the GBP. So as I said, you move to the monthly time frame to identify the what, the area of interest or the support or resistance level or the reactional levels. You get it? So the reactional levels that I'm talking about. So the way I draw my support and resistance at the beginning stage, or as you are watching me, for me, for instance, as I'm saying, it took me a long time for me to discover how even I draw it. Okay, and it's subjective. Anything in the forex market is subjective based on what, the experience of the person. So the way I'm drawing my support and resistance, someone who might what, be drawing it differently or be what, indicating it differently. So if you don't understand it now, with time, when you get to, when you start following me, you will what, understand whatever I'm talking about. You get me? So don't be in haste or don't be in rush to understand everything now. You are just watching me, so I'm not expecting you to understand everything that I'll be saying. So you can rewind or rewatch the video again, or you can be following. So as you are following me, you get to understand. So the monthly time frame, you have what, we have, let me use this too. So we have a resistance level over here. So I'm trying to what, to analyze what you'll be expecting in the upcoming week, the week to come, what you'll be expecting. So we have another what, support level over here. That's the monthly time frame. So this is what, the area of interest, the reactional levels. So this is the only thing that I'm going to do, because when it comes to the trend, for me to identify the direction of the market or the trend, mostly where I focus on is what, the you have to focus on, or you have to make sure the weekly is in the weekly, daily, and H4 are what, in the same direction. So this, the weekly, the daily, and H4 are my bias time frame. So when I talk about the bias, that is what, me identifying the what, the direction of the market. So I have to make sure these are the three time frames I usually focus on for the directional bias of the market. Okay, so the weekly, the daily, and H4 is my directional bias, is the time frame that I usually look for what, the direction of the market. Okay, so you feel me? If you are getting it, let me know. So when you move to the weekly, so this is the only thing that, so with the monthly, I'm not going to search for the trend. Okay, what I'm interested is in what, the direction of the area of interest. Because when you talk about the monthly time frame, every time frame, every candle, every month, a candle is formed, and what, a candle is what, a candle is formed. That's how the time frame works. Every month, one, you see one candle. So these candles that you are seeing, the red and the green candles, means what, every month one candle is formed. Okay, every month one candle. So this data that you are seeing over here, I can bet you it's what, so this, when you come to this side, this is what, 2020 data. Okay, 2020 data, what happened in what, this this currency pair or this exchange rate. This is what happened. So every month one candle is formed. You get it? Every month one candle is formed and one candle is closed. So I'm not going to pay a lot of attention to this one, because mostly the monthly time frame, the high time frames are used by what, position traders, the position traders or the investors, people who hold on trade for long. So assuming maybe you strongly believe that what, the Ghana cedi is going to depreciate against what, the United States dollar, what you are going to do is what, you are going to, maybe for the meantime, you are going to buy more of what, the dollar, and what, sell all your current the cedis that you are having on you. This is for what, those who have been doing those things, like the investors. They usually focus on what, the higher time frame, because what, when you read about the economic events, like you have a long-term economic events, with those things, it's really going to take a long time, especially the upcoming election in Ghana. If you have some project, it's really going to affect the exchange rate. Okay, the election is going to affect the exchange rate. So mostly, if you're an investor reading the fundamentals about the long-term the long term fundamental data and what the long term or the higher time frame, what do you call it, the higher time frame, what do you call it? The higher time frame, you can combine it together and what to make a decision either to what to buy or sell a currency pair. So the monthly time frame is usually used for what investors. You get it? It's usually used for investors. But when it comes to we the day traders, mostly we are day traders. What we do is what we buy and sell within a day. We don't even most people don't even hold trades overnight. Only few people hold trades overnight. So what you have to do is what you'll be looking at what the shorter time frames, okay, like the daily time frame, the weekly, sometimes barely the weekly time frame and the H4 time frame, the shorter time frame, because we don't hold trades overnight. It's just a short time that you hold trades and what you'll be closing at that day. So you have to look at what the medium time frames, like the daily, the H4, the H1. These are the time frames that you have to focus on. Okay. So when you move to the weekly time frame, that's when I'm going to what check out the trend. You get it? I'm going to check out the trend on what the weekly time frame. So when you come to the weekly time frame on this pair, you see the market is in an uptrend. So how did I even know the market is an uptrend? We are having many things that we can factor or to look or to take into consideration to determine the trend. We have something called indicators. Okay, so you can use indicators to what to determine the trend, or you can use your naked eye. So most of the times what I do is what, since I have an experience in the market, what I do is what I use my naked eyes to what to determine the direction of the market. I don't have to use indicator. So indicator is like an automated tool that helps you to what to determine the direction of the market. You get it? So we have, when you move to with the trading view, you can check out the various indicators. So these are all automated tools. Okay, so the moment you click on it, it will appear and it will tell you where the market is heading to. So for me, I don't use indicators. Okay, I don't use indicators since my naked eye, since I have an experience my with my naked eyes reading what the candles or reading price, I'll be able to know the direction of the market. You get it? I'll be able to know the direction of the market. So I don't mostly focus on indicators. I use candle or price to determine the direction of the market. So when you move to the monthly time frame, what I'm going to look for, what I have to, what any time frame that I move to, I have to identify the direction, or I have to identify the area of interest or the reactional levels. Okay, so anytime that price will get to those levels, as I said, it's either going to react. The reaction, as in what? It's either going to break out or what? It's either going to retest those levels. So you have to always pay attention to them. That's why, as I said, most people get stopped out because they don't pay attention to them. Because most of the times sometimes I follow this your so-called gurus on the internet, and one thing that you'll be noticing is what they will be seeing them sometimes. Like, I like doing reanalysis. Anytime I see someone saying buy here, sell here, I want to see the currency pair and see why the person is saying that. That's why I became good in trading. Okay, so you have to be doing that. Cherish analyzing, cherish knowledge over what money. With time, when you get the knowledge, money will be secondary. Okay, money, knowledge is a byproduct of what money. So the moment you are knowledgeable, money becomes secondary. Okay, so you have to cherish knowledge over money. Money is going to become secondary. So anytime you get to those levels, the reactional levels, price is always going to what react, either breakout or retest. So when you come to the weekly time frame, we have what a resistance level over here. The price what, so you see this candle. So as I said, candles are the same as prices. Okay, they are the same as volume that people are actions that people are taking in the market. So you see the moment price go to this level, the resistance level. So as I said, the support and resistance level are equilibrium, but where buyers and sellers are meeting. So you see the green candle means what? Buyers, and the red candles means what? At that moment, you're having selling pressure in the market. So where you saw the point is where what? The point that this level is what? A resistance level. So anytime price go to this level, it's reacted. You get it? So you see the candle, the moment candle go to this side, it's retraces back. So you have to pay attention to them. So when you move to the weekly, anytime price will break out, what I'm expecting at the GBPUSD this week is what? Price has broken out. So expect a retest. So the market is retesting. So which level is it going to retest on? The nearest what? Previously resistance, now tend to what? A support. So you have to look at your left and see. So we have a support level over here. Okay, this support level has been invalidated by price. Since the moment it broke out, it has been invalidated. The moment price closed beneath this one, this point got invalidated. So the nearest level is what, at this level. So you see, the moment candle go to this level, it is reacting to this level. You get it? So you identify them since it hasn't broken it yet. You identify it. Okay. So you factor it in, you factor it into consideration. You get it? So I want to, so price is going to react. So you see, the moment the candle got, it was ranging within this this range, or this what price range. You get it? The moment the price is ranging within this area, you get it? Because what, we had a resistance over here, we had support over here. So anytime that you are making a decision, you have to make sure what price has broken through, or what price has broken to before you buy, or price has what rate tested on this resistance level before you sell. Okay, so don't try to buy when price has gotten to this level. Don't try to what sell when price has gotten to the support. It's a great it's one huge mistake most beginners are doing in the forex market, that they are usually losing a lot of money. They don't pay attention to them. So it's always important to get knowledge in this industry before you even what start investing your hard-earned money in the market. But people really love to what, people cherish to fund their accounts. And I've been experiencing this thing since I started teaching people. People would rather prefer what, people would rather prefer investing or trading, as in depositing their money in the broker's account, rather than what, paying for an education, which is very bad. If you are part of those people, you have to have cherish education over what, trying to earn money fast. It's not going to earn you anywhere. This game is a profession. It's not just a gambling. You have to acquire, you have to get the requisite knowledge before you can start making money in the market. So on the weekly time frame, this is what I'm expecting. It's currently what, the weekly time frame is an uptrend, and it's currently ranging at this level, or this area. Price is currently ranging at this level, this area. You get it? Price is currently ranging at this area. So what you can do is what, either to trade within, but don't try to what, trade on the resistance level, or don't try to trade on the what, the support levels, or don't try to what, sell on support levels, or buy on what, resistance level. Try to what, make sure price has broken out, or what, you move to the lower time frames to find an entry. So currently price is what, on the weekly time frame, on euro, GBPUSD, or the pound dollar, price is currently what, price is currently what, in an uptrend. So you have to look for what, buys. So let's move to the daily time frame and see what's going on in the daily time frame. So you write your questions down, and I'll use 10 minutes to what, on the daily time frame. Currently price is what, currently price is what, in an uptrend. The structure, so we have pattern structure and we have candlestick structure. Okay, we have pattern structure. So currently the candlestick structure is what, in a range, because price has broken through, it has broken the tip of this one, it has what, broken the dip of this one. You get it? It has broken the tip of this one. If it has broken the dip of this one, so kindly give a like on the stream. Kindly give a like on the stream. If I have not given a like on the stream, kindly give a like on the stream. You guys are more than 11. Only 11. Just can I see the information I'm sharing to you? Kindly give a like on the. Just click on the thumbs up. Okay. Kindly click on the thumbs up. Give a like on the stream. All right. So on the, it has broken the tip, it has broken the dip. So currently the candle structure is what, it's in what, it's currently ranging for the candle structure. The candle structure is currently what, ranging. But when you talk about what, the pattern structure, the pattern structure is currently what, an uptrend. Okay, because the market on the daily time frame, it was initially a downtrend. The moment it broke over here, retested this, the low of this one has been broken. Okay, the low of this one has been broken. So now it has broken the tip of this one. So what are you expecting? You are expecting a retracement. Okay, we are expecting a retracement at this level. So now price is retracing. So when price is retracing, which level are you expecting price to what, retest on? So you are expecting price to retest on this level. So you have to pay attention to those levels. You have to pay attention to those levels. So currently price has retested on this level. So if price has retested on this level, and it has closed on the level. So what we are expecting is what? Trend continuation to this level. So now you've seen the weekly time frame is an uptrend, the daily time frame is an uptrend. But when you move to H4 time frame, H4 time frame is currently what? An uptrend, a downtrend. So when something of that sort happens, what you will do is what? You will either wait for the what? H4 time frames to shift direction to what? The daily time, to be in a line, or to what? To be in sync with the daily time frame, or either to the daily time frame to be in sync with what? The H4 time frame to make a decision. When it happens like that, currently they are inconsistent, or they are what? Doing the same, they are doing different thing. You get it? So when it happens like that, what you will do is what? You have to make sure what? Those time frames are what? Are aligned with each other. You get it? So now currently, if you want to take an intraday trading, you can sell. You can be taking a sell. You can be searching for a sell entry. But currently, what I'm seeing is what? I'm seeing a lot of ranges in what? The GBPUSD. So what you can do is what? You wait for price to retest on this level, to come back, retest on this level. These are the levels that you can be selling on. So anytime price get to this level, you search for what? As an entry. So if you have not watched my entry video, you can go to my what? The video side of my channel and be watching the video I did on what? Entries. So if price get to this level, you search for an entry. So you have way of what? Entering the market. So sometimes the setup or everything will align on this point, but you will not be getting an entry. You get it? Even though you know the market is going to retrace to this level, but you are not going to get an entry. So you have to wait for an entry before you can enter the market. So you have to learn how to enter the market too. So it's very important. So it's either going to retest on this level too, or retest on this level before what? The market will either sell. So the 100% what? Retracement is going to be at this level. When price gets to this level, then it can come to this side. Or when it breaks out, then what? It is now in line with what? The higher time frame, which is what? The daily time frame. You get, so you have to maybe search for an entry which is going to be what? In line with what? The daily time frame. Okay, so this is what I'll be looking for. So now there's an opportunity. You can be looking for an opportunity for sell, you can be looking for an opportunity for what? A buy. So if someone is asking, or if someone is just pondering about why I didn't even consider the H1 time frame, one thing is what? Some of the time frames are not stronger time frames, and when you continue using them, you are going to get stopped out most often. Okay, so you have to first of all what? Make sure you have to what? First of all, make sure what? Those time frames, the lower time frames, you have to make sure those time frames are what? You don't factor, or you don't consider when you are talking about the bias or the directional bias of the market. You don't factor those lower time frames. You only use them what? For your entry. So the H1, the M30, and M15, they are what? They are not stronger time frames to rely on. Most of the times those trends are not stronger trends, and you are going to be stopped out most often. So that's why most people what? Unless maybe you are looking for maybe 5 pips, 6 pips, okay, you are looking for those short pips, those smaller pips. But if you want to look for what? A big pips, okay, like 50 pips, 60 pips, look for the what? Follow the higher time frame trend to make a decision. Okay, follow the higher time frame. So for the pound dollar, you can be looking for a buy and at the same time a sell. So there are a lot to talk about, but since our time is limited, I will open the this thing, the stream for questions and answers. So anything related to trading, or anything related with trading, you can ask your questions and it will get answered. So if you're having any question, it's left with 5 minutes for us to do the question and answer session. So if you have any questions concerning trading or related to trading, you can just drop them in the chat box and you get your question answered. If you have any question, you kindly drop it in the chat box and I'll answer your any questions so far. If you're having any question, you kindly drop it. Let me know if you're having any question. Any question that you are having, let me know so that I will answer them. So when you look at no question so far, no one is, so that means what I talked about was was understood by everyone. Any questions so far? Okay, so I think no one is having a question. So I think everything was understood. You can ask your question now. I said I've dedicated some time for questions and answers. So this is the time. So if you're having a question, you can drop it in the chat box. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box. Can we enter on the bullish? Can we enter on the bullish candle? So on the so entering a sell over here. So this is the reactional levels, or this is the levels that the market is going to what react on. You get it? These are the levels that price is going to react on. So when price gets to this side, you don't have to sell it immediately, or what? You don't have to sell it immediately. What you have to do is what? You either wait for what? An entry. Okay, now there's no entry over here, so you either go to the H1 time frame in case the market forms like this. Okay, so currently I think since this one has closed over here, you can get an entry to what? To sell it to this point. Okay, but it is not advisable to be taking trades like this time of the day, because there's no volume in the market, even though the market will be open around 10 to 11 p.m, but it's not advisable to what? To be trading at this level or this time of the day. So you can patiently wait for tomorrow. When the market aligns, then you make a decision. You get it? You make a decision. So at this point, it's not advisable. I've not even, I don't remember the last time I took trade on what? Sunday evening. I always wait for Monday, the lending session, the fresh of the week. Then what? I start what? Trading. That's the time I trade, because for me, for instance, I do trading full time. So I'm always looking at the chart. So I start trading on Mondays. Okay, that's the time I start trading. So which time frame can we use as an entry? So when it comes to when it comes to entry, you can it's based on what? It's case by case basis. Okay, when it comes to entry is case by, it depends on the situation, or it depends on what the market is doing. So you can find an entry on daily. Sometimes I get an entry on weekly time frame. I don't even bother to go to the daily time frame. I find an entry on daily time frame. I can get an entry on H4 time frame. So it depends on what the market is doing and the time frame. If the time frame is presenting an entry, so that's why I've even referred you to go back to the my entry time frames and what, check it out over there. You get it? So go to my videos. The last video I've even recorded on what, YouTube. You can go there and what, check it out and see. I've done a video on entries. So you can get an entry on the any of the time frames, or you can get some on what, H1 time frame. So you have to know how to enter the market. That's the most important thing. So assuming maybe if H4 candle has formed, has created a support, okay, a bearish support over here, you can enter a sell, okay, following what, the H4 trend. You get it? So with entry, you can get it based on what, where the time frame is what, presenting, or what the time frame is doing. So it's what, case by case basis. You don't have specific way of what, entering the market, the time frame of entering the market. It depends on the condition of the market. What are the best time frames of the day? What are the best times of the day to take trades? So we are having market sessions. Okay, so we're having different market sessions, but the most traded ones are what? The Asian session. So the Asian session comprises of the Auckland and I think is Australian session, and we have the New Zealand is what, the Sydney session. Okay, is it Australia is Sydney session, or of interchanging. So we have the Auckland session and what, the Sydney session. Okay, they all fall out under what, the Asian session, and we have Tokyo session. We have the Tokyo session and what, the Singaporean session. You have the Singapore session too. You get it? So those are the times that you have to focus on during the Asian session. But the times that they usually open is around what, in our local time, especially, it's around 11 p.m. GMT. Okay, so 11 p.m. GMT, you can what, be trading the pre-Asian session. 11 p.m. GMT is what, the pre-Asian session, and we have the lending session. So these are the time frames. So you can trade from 11 p.m. GMT to what, throughout the night, to maybe the times that volume comes into the market is what, around 12 a.m. GMT. Okay, that's the dawn time. 12 a.m., 1 o'clock, 1:30 a.m. GMT. At that moment, or at that time, you see a lot of volume in the market. So you can be witnessing it yourself, or you can be going through the chart yourself, and you'll be seeing it over there. So when it comes to the lending session too, also starts around what, the lending session starts. You have pre-lending session. So it's like what? It's like our various banks. So when it comes to our local banks, for instance, you have specific times that the local banks open, even though they will be telling you what around, they'll be telling you the bank premises open around what 9 o'clock. By at the back office, they'll be receiving some checks and those things. So that's what we call what the pre-session. Okay, so the pre-session, you have pre-lending session. So pre-lending session happens around 6 a.m. So you can start executing or taking trades around 6 a.m. You can be taking trades around those times. That's the lending session. The lending session comprises of the what? The Frankfurt and what? The lending session. Okay. So it's all comprised of the lending session, the Frankfurt session and the lending session. They all comprise of the lending session. And we have what? The New York session. So you have the New York Stock Exchange session, and we have one session around 12 p.m., 12:20 p.m. We have something called the comment session. So you can be checking it out around 12:20. You see, you'll be seeing rapid movement in prices. Okay, you'll be seeing rapid, and the New York Stock Exchange session starts around 1 o'clock to 1:30 p.m. That's when you see a lot of what rapid movement in prices, a lot of big candles. So you can be trading during those times. So what is the best strategies to use? Is it fundamentals or technicals? So we combine both of them together. You can't be trading. You combine the fundamentals with the technical analysis. You don't trade them together. You have to trade them together. You can't be trading technicals without watching the fundamental. You are not going to make money in the market. You combine both of them together. You combine the fundamentals and the technicals. Okay, you can't be blinded. You can't be blinded without like, or you can't be excluding the fundamentals without watching the technicals. You have to combine them together. There's no profitable trader who is only at what the technical aspect without what watching the fundamental. You are going to lose money. So you have to look at what the fundamental is doing. You combine it with the technicals, and you are going to make money in the market. Is it possible to start trading with very little amount, such as $20, and how to do it secondary? Can you explain confirmation in the trade entry? So when it comes to what that the amount of money you can start with trading, we don't have. I won't even with a little of $20. If you have the right skill set, you'll be able to what you'll be able to grow that amount of money. So trading is not about the amount of money you can start with. It depends. It only boils down to what the minimum requirements your brokers are taking. So if your brokers are demanding or what are accepting like $10, if you have that amount and you have the required knowledge, you'll be able to trade with it. You get it. So you don't have specific money that I will tell you to start it, because if I tell you $100,000 and you get $100,000, you don't have the required knowledge, you are going to lose all the 100,000. So it's important to always what look for what the knowledge. You have to get a skill set first before. So I always say, I always like asking talk about this thing or boost about this thing, that there's no way I'm going to blow an account unless maybe I'm using, like, I'm not applying risk management. That's when I'm going to blow account. With the knowledge I'm having now, there's no way I'm going to lose investors account or proprietary firm account. With my knowledge now, I doubt. You get it? I doubt. So if you have the right knowledge, money is not a problem in the forex market. So what are some of the currency pairs to be traded on the lending session? So when it comes about the pairs to trade on the lending session, you have to first of all know that the currency that falls within the session you are trading. So when it comes to Asian session, for instance, so you are make sure you are combining stronger currency with what a weaker currency. So during the lending session, you know the Australian session. So the Australian currency is what the AUD, and we have for the New Zealand currency is what the NZD, and we have the JPY. So you see they are open around the Asian session. So one thing you have to do is what you have to combine the Asian session. Sorry, you have to combine the a stronger currency. So the stronger currency is what the NZD, AUZ, the JPY during the Asian session, and you combine it with what weaker currency. So the weaker currency here, I'm referring to what currencies that are not open during that time. So the lending session is not open during the Asian session. So you combine it together to trade it at the Asian session. It's like tag of war. If both sides are very strong, it's going to be very difficult for what for someone to win the battle. Okay, so that's why it's always advisable to pair one currency pair which is weak. That's when the session is open against a currency pair which the session is open. That's when you are going to win in the market, because when you trade two consolidating pairs together, when you trade two as in pairs that their session is open together, you are going to experience a lot of consolidation of volume in the market. You are going to experience a lot of ranges in market because they are all strong. And if all the sessions are closed, you are going to experience ranging or consolidating because the sessions of those currency pairs have closed. So you have to take note of that. So what are some of the currency pairs to be traded during the lending session, and which time is the lend? So the lending session, the currency pair that it's advisable to be trading like the GBPUSD, because the GBP is open around what the lending session, and what the dollar is not open around the lending session. So you see the pound is what's open, the dollar is closed. So you can see rapid movements. Unlike maybe trading the euro, you are going to experience a lot of range because they are all open at the same time and they are all having volume. They are all having what powers at the same time. You get it? So you are not going to experience rapid movements in price. So the lending open, as I said, you have the pre-lending and what the lending open, the lending session. So the pre-lending happens around 6 a.m., 5:30 to 6 a.m. GMT. Okay, that's the time that you are going to experience, or you are going to see what volume during that time, because the lending session is open. So please, can you analyze gold? We've exhausted our time. Talking about fundamentals, do I trade during news or after news, or wait for the actual or forecast before? So I've already addressed this thing. So when you talk about news, I said unless maybe you are having a dedicated account for what trading news event. With that one, I can't tell you you shouldn't trade. But if you are trading for investors and those people, the chances of you blowing the account is very high. So you have to avoid those times. Wait for the news to be released, maybe 2 to 3 minutes after the release of the news. Then you make action. You take action. You get it? But if it is your personal account and you will love to gamble on the news, I can't like stop you for doing that. Okay, I can't stop you from doing that. So you can be doing that too. So the news, do I trade during news event? So 1 hour to 30 minutes to the news. Don't take trade. If you are trading for maybe a cherish account, don't be taking trades during those times. What is the best time frame to take your trade? So I usually focus on, so we do top-down analysis. You don't focus on only one time frame. You get it. We do top-down analysis. You focus on the higher time frames to the lower time frames. We don't focus on only one time frame for our analysis. You can't be focusing on only one time. It's not advisable to be focusing on only one time frame. You have to see what is going on at the other side of what the market. You don't know, maybe you are focusing on only H1 time frame. You might not know there was what a support or resistance at the H4 time frames, and the market is going to take a long time for it to what you see the market ranging at that time. You get it? So it's always advisable to be trading during to be doing top down analysis. Focus on the standard time frames that I talked about, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, H4. Make sure you are looking at those time frames before you move to the lower time frames to make decision on that. Okay, any questions so far? So if there's no question, I think you've exhausted our time. If there's no question, let's call it a night. And so every morning, let me tell you this thing. So those who want to join my private group too, you can chat me, and you make the payment. The payment is what? If you are in Ghana, it is 500 cedis. If it is if you are in South Africa, it is 600 rand. Okay, so you can make payment. You can chat me and you make the payment. Okay, because next month I'm going to increase the price, because the value that I'm giving is worth more than the price that you are going to pay for the mentorship. So if you want to take advantage, this is the time that you have to take advantage. You get it? You make payments. So I've proven myself a long time for you to doubt me whether I know how to trade or I don't know how to trade. I've been doing live streams. I've been teaching you people. I've been answering your questions. So I know sometimes trusting, giving your money to someone at on the internet it's kind of weird, because you don't know who is legit and who is not legit. So if you want to make payments, I think I've proven myself long. That's why I've been doing the live streams and those things. So if you want to make payment, because from next month I'm going to increase the price, and so if you're having the means or the resource now, you have to take advantage of it now. Okay, there's no way to doubt me now, because I'm having a YouTube channel. I always come here. So tomorrow morning, those who have time or those who have time, you'll be trading live. I'll be trading live with you people at the lending session. So you can join us. You can just you can just click on the bell notification, and you join us trading live. So if you want to be part of the private group, you can chat me on my WhatsApp. I know most people are having my WhatsApp line. So you can chat me, or you can check my YouTube description. You can even either chat me on Twitter. Okay, so you can be chatting me on there. Then you just book your slot, or you just take your slot over there. You get it? Don't look. I can't see fair value gap in the right now. I don't trade value gap. Okay, so as I said, I've already said it earlier that in the forex market we are having different ways that people look at the market. But if you try to focus on many things, you are going to get frustrated in the market. So focus on only one thing. I don't do fair value gap. The things that I do is what I've already told you about. I can see fair value gap in the right now. How do I draw support and resistance? So this is not the time. So if you want to learn how to draw support and resistance, you join my private group. I'll guide you on how to draw support and how can I get your signals, brother. So if you want to get my signals, the only time you are going to get my signals is during the lending session. If there's an opportunity, I tell them I'm buying at this point and what I'm selling at this point. It was only last week that we didn't get trade. Most of the times we get trade and we trade over there. Looking for signals, bro. Learn how to analyze it yourself. All right, that's cool. So you have to learn how to trade yourself. Okay. So thank you all for joining today's streams. I'm really impressed with the numbers. That means what I'm having a lot of people that are committed, or they are that are ready to what learn the forex market. So I will try and be coming here since most people have been going to work and school during the weekdays. I will try and come around and what be analyzing the market on weekends too. So maybe if any updates, if next week too this thing will happen, I will let you know by tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. 6 a.m. GMT to 9 a.m. GMT. I'll be live on YouTube to do. You'll be trading live on what on YouTube here. So if you have not put in the channel on your notification, kindly what click on the bell icon and put it on notification. So anytime that I come on live, you will get notified. Okay. So thank you all for joining today's stream. See you all tomorrow morning. Good night to you all. Bye bye.